JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, high-powered rifle and ammunition seized in Tivoli Gardens. Officers assigned to the Dedham Town Police Station today seized an RPK rifle along with several rounds of ammunition in Drackett's Place, Tivoli Gardens, Kingston 16. The police report that about 9 a.m., a team conducted a snap raid at the mentioned location where the rifle, a bipod stand, and 14 7.6 rounds of ammunition were taken from under a metal container. No one was arrested in connection with the find. Farmer killed in Clarendon. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF is still trying to find out who murdered a resident of Reckford District in the Kellits area of Clarendon on Sunday, November 1. The deceased is 43-year-old farmer Alphonso Brown, otherwise called Stone. Reports from the Crofts Hill Police are that about 7:40 p.m., Brown was exiting his home when he was approached by armed men who shot him several times. The police were summoned and he was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Residents said Brown received at least 8 shots, adding that he was a controversial figure. Investigations are continuing, the police noted. 21-year-old charged with robbery with aggravation and burglary. The police have charged 21-year-old Shamir Russell with robbery with aggravation and burglary following an incident in his Odserfield community in St. Mary on Monday, October 17. According to the police, the complainants reported that they were at home in bed when they were awakened about 1 p.m. by 2 men standing by their bed armed with knives. The men reportedly robbed them of money and a cellular phone and escaped. Russell was arrested on Sunday, November 14, subsequent to a police investigation, and was charged following an identification parade. The police said his accomplice remains at large. Cops identify a man found dead with stab wounds. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF has released the identity of a man whose body was found with stab wounds on 4th Street in Linstead, St. Catherine. He is Dwight Christie, otherwise called Dewey. The corpse was found about 2 a.m. on Saturday, November 14, the police said. Reports are that a motorist saw a body along the roadway and summoned the police. On their arrival, Christie's body was seen in a pool of blood with stab wounds to the chest. He was pronounced dead at hospital. Area residents said one of Christie's brothers was also killed years ago in Linstead. Suspects in party assault surrender to police. 10 days after a teen was beaten at an illegal party, she's still hanging on to life in a coma at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Meanwhile, justice is being sought with 4 women in custody and 1 still at large. 2 of the 3 women sought by the police in connection with the attack that left a 17-year-old girl hospitalized have turned themselves in. The women were accompanied by their attorney, Peter Champagny QC, to the Constant Spring Police Station this afternoon. They are expected to be questioned. The police are appealing to the other suspect to turn herself in immediately, even as they ramp up operations to prevent further violence at parties breaching Jamaica's coronavirus laws. Dozens of people have been injured at illicit parties in recent weeks. Kaylon Dowdy, 17, a past student of Papine High School, is currently on life support after she was beaten by a group of women on November 7 along Barbican Road. The party was being held without a permit on Boise Lane. Superintendent Aaron Fletcher, who heads the St. Andrew North Police Division, said that the investigators were seeking Tiffany Clark, Kristen Lois, and Timon, also called Rusty or Yolande. Fletcher also said that the police have disqualified Anne-Marie Mullings as inconsequential to their investigations after her identity was dragged into the fray by virtue of a collage making the rounds on social media. She was spoken to on Friday. She came to the police with her attorney, and we had no interest in her, and she left in the presence of her attorney. We have no interest in her. She's not implicated in what transpired, Fletcher said. Mullings was in hospital, having given birth hours prior when the act occurred. Senior Superintendent of Police Stephanie Lindsay, head of the police communications arm, said that investigators would not relent in their crackdown on illicit parties and other gatherings. They'll be combing social media and engaging in reconnaissance to catch perpetrators. If we get the information ahead of the event so we can prevent them from happening, if we know that they're happening, then we're going to go there and close them down. And if we have to prosecute, we'll just have to prosecute some persons, Lindsay said. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, last week called for an end to illegal parties being staged across the country in breach of COVID-19 measures. This followed the death of Police Constable Kirkland Plummer at an illegal party in Harwood, Clarendon. Reports are that he was attacked by patrons at approximately 9:40 p.m. after he disarmed a man who had reportedly discharged an illegal firearm. Dog owners urged to properly secure their premises. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck is appealing to dog owners to properly secure their premises in order to ensure that the animals do not pose a threat to members of the public. The call comes as debate continues on the Dog Liability for Attacks Act in Parliament. Ensure that the fence is well secured and that when the gate is open, the dog does not escape, because if the dog escapes into the public space and causes injury to pedestrians or innocent bystanders, then this act will ensure that the dog owners pay some serious penalties. That is the only way we can make sure that these vicious attacks that have occurred over the years where innocent persons have been seriously injured, that we deter and prevent them from happening, he added. Chuck, who was addressing a recent JIS think tank, noted that a lot of time was taken to craft the legislation, including consultations with various stakeholders in order to ensure its effectiveness. He noted that during the debate on the bill, concerns raised by members of the House as well as other stakeholders are being addressed. Among them is a definition for attack. Now we have defined it as where it causes injury or where the dog attempts to bite or to injure the person. We can even put words where there is a reasonable apprehension of injury. And at this moment, and before the act is finally passed, we are trying to determine what the right phrase to use to define attack is, he noted. The bill, tabled in Parliament in July, is intended to repeal and replace the Dogs Liability for Injuries by Act of 1877. It will introduce criminal liability in addition to the civil remedy that previously existed, so that whether or not the victim pursues a civil remedy, the owner may be prosecuted if any of the offences set out in the bill have been committed. Man nabbed with stolen game machine in his possession. The St. Catherine North Police have arrested and charged a man in connection with a robbery on Brunswick Avenue, Spanish Town, on Tuesday, November 10. According to the police, 42-year-old Cornell Clark has been charged with shopbreaking and larceny. Lawmen said that the complainant received a call about 8:30 p.m. informing him that his shop had been broken into. He later discovered that a game machine valuing about $900,000 was missing. The robbery was reported, and after an investigation, Clark was apprehended the following day with the machine in his possession. He was subsequently charged after an interview, the police said. 10 injured in Spurtree Hill crash. At least 10 people were yesterday morning rushed to hospital after a minibus crashed on the accident-prone Spurtree Hill main road. Spurtree Hill resident Renee Brooks said that the crash happened about 7 a.m. as the bus was descending the hill. The bus was heading to Montego Bay, and while coming down the hill, a tire blew out. The driver was trying to avoid a nearby gully when the bus crashed, she said. The bus stopped mere meters from an abandoned house which was damaged in another crash years ago. Brooks said there have been other accidents at the same location in recent days. A truck carrying animal feed crashed there Friday. On Sunday, a motorcycle pillion was injured after the motorcyclist lost control of the bike, and then the bus crashed this morning, she pointed out. 30 new COVID-19 cases, 2 deaths under investigation. Jamaica has recorded 30 new cases of COVID-19 and reported 2 deaths under investigation in the last 24 hours. The new cases consist of 13 males and 17 females, with ages ranging from 7 to 89 years. The country's total confirmed COVID-19 cases now stand at 9,959, of which 4,256 are active. Of the new cases, 8 are from St. James, 7 are from Hanover, 6 are from Trelawney, 4 are from St. Catherine, 3 are from Westmoreland, and 1 each are from Manchester and St. Elizabeth. The ministry said one of the new cases is imported. 1 is a contact of a confirmed case, and the other 28 are under investigation. The country's death toll since the outbreak now stands at 231. Meanwhile, the ministry also reported that 8 patients have recovered from the virus, bringing the country's total recoveries to 5,338. Residents in marooned communities urged to bury their garbage. Several communities in rural St. Andrew and eastern parishes remain marooned following recent heavy rainfall across the island. Executive Director of the National Solid Waste Management Authority, Audie Gordon, is encouraging residents in these communities to bury their garbage until the communities are accessible. About 60% of our waste is organic in nature, and residents can bury these by digging a hole in their backyards. We're talking about kitchen scraps, vegetable, fruit peelings, grass cuttings, paper, and cardboard. The plastic bottle, that will not break down. We recommend those be bagged until we are able to resume collection. The authorities again advising that garbage collection is delayed across the country and every effort is being made to ensure prompt collection. The rains have hampered us over the past month, but we are working overtime to get back on track. Nightly collection has been arranged in some areas to clear the backlog, and we urge householders to properly secure their garbage until our truck comes, Gordon said. Residents are encouraged to visit www.nswma.gov.jm for further updates or call toll-free at 888-253-2652 or 876-448-3220. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember, subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.